Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I got a regular hamburger there and, regular order of fries. And, it was good. I didn't, do cartwheels back at the hotel, but, it was good.
When do you do cartwheels is kind of what I'm...
Well,
that's a great question.
Lots of times it's when I'm alone. But,
the visual on that is priceless.
Well, the broken back would be the result of that.
Chuck doing cartwheels, now that is something that we could
wobble.
sell tickets to that.
Yeah, you could.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I don't know about you guys, but when my alarm clock went off this morning, I was in the most comfortable position I think I've ever been in my life. And I did not want to get out of bed. You know how it is? It's like, man, when I come to bed tonight, I'm going to get right back in this spot right here because I've never been more comfortable in my life.
Yeah. That's where you get up just so you can go back to bed tonight.
Yes.
The only reason you got up.
It was like, oh, wow, we need to set up we need a unit in the bed, where you can just roll over.
Yeah. I'm sure those days are coming. Hugh Freeze once coached a game from a hospital bed.
I remember. Yes, I do remember.
And waved.
I remember that.
Bart still loves that image.
Yeah, that is a good picture. It was a
one
great
of my
picture.
favorite things to ever happen in college football.
Yeah, I think on our 100th show, that'll be what we do.
Well,
we'll have you. We'll just do it from.
That would be
we've
great.
done way more than 100
Have we?
shows.
Who's counting? Who's counting?
We've been around a while.
I forgot. Yeah, we've
But it
both
was
done.
it was just one of those mornings.
We've both done over 10,000 hours of live radio.
Yeah,
that's the Malcolm Gladwell.
I've never really
and
thought
we're
about
still not
that.
good at it.
Yeah. At some point, you'd think they'd master it.
And like Malcolm Gladwell promised in that book that we'd be good if we just did 10,000 hours.
Yeah, well,
we're still going. We're still trying to figure it out.
We're testing that theory. That's
Boy,
for sure.
it is, man. This time of year. Hey, I'm just going to tell you right now, get up. You got to get up. You got to go. You're going to feel worse if you don't. Feel better now.
I don't know about
Hate
that.
it later.
You might feel better staying in bed.
You will. You will.
That's an embellishment. You might feel better staying in bed.
Don't listen to Bo. Don't listen to that crap. I'll tell you right now. I know how good I felt a little bit ago, and it's not that good now.
It's okay, but man, staying in bed would have been better.
That's incredible. Well, where do you want to start today?
Man, I think things are starting to heat up.
Good morning.
Things are starting to heat up.
Things
people
are
are ready to hire a coach, and here, and you look around college football, and Brian Kelly's getting ready to sue LSU, and plus we got these games going on. We got a playoff coming up.
Yeah, we'll give you some updates on the coaching thing. I did some digging around yesterday. Yeah, and we're gonna this time next year we're gonna be in the playoff, Chuck.
Okay.
Wow. Just letting you know, but I don't know what they're gonna do with the trophies.
Hey, they're coming to get them. I saw where
Basil's on a mission.
Oh my gosh,
Basil's on a mission. There's nothing like a touchdown club, guys. We had one here in Northwest Arkansas for a while. And Bart and everyone else in the organization is glad we don't anymore because it's just
it's a lot of work.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Like the event is awesome. But it just takes a lot, and I do tip my cap to Basil, and he's got him a machine.
He's got him a following down there.
Yeah, and he's got one of the best touchdown clubs in the country. They spend a ton of money and put a lot of effort into bringing great guests in and having a great time. And you know how I feel. We all feel about Basil. Love him, dear friend, great human. But
he's on a run right now.
He's on one. Here's Basil yesterday. He's just talking to his crowd. He's just
talking to anyone who will listen.
He's talking to his crowd, man.
That's right. His people.
They're all there. There's something about a live audience. Right?
I know. And he held him in the palm of his hand. And listen to the way they applaud when he's talking here in a minute.
This happens with you doing the Cal show or the Razorback Football Live at the Catfish Hole or whatever in front of a live audience. And you've done it long enough. You've got a radio audience. They're listening. But you've the live audience.
You're playing to the people in the room.
Live audience.
That's right.
And sometimes in those settings, man, I'm not saying this was yesterday, but you almost forget how maybe this plays outside of the room.
Well, the spirit starts moving you.
That's right.
And you look out in the audience and I got these people. And I've got them. And here we go.
And I've talked to him. He knew what he was doing yesterday. But he was playing. The crowd was loving this.
I'm just going to make a commitment right here. Everybody gets irritated with me up on the hill anyway. So all these guys up here, if they won any trophies, any plaques, any jerseys, they're all sitting in a storage unit somewhere in Rogers. Dean Weber told me, he said, David, I feel like, and this might have been under Jeff Long, I don't know, and I don't really care. He says, I feel like they're dismissing everything that was done before 2000. So I don't know where the Grantland Hill trophy is. I don't know where the Cotton Bowl trophy of the 60s was. I think they're all in a storage unit somewhere. So here's the deal. I'm just telling you. I don't care if Hunter Yurachek wants to do it or not. But Chancellor, here's the deal. These guys and all of us who've played for the last 60 years, 75 years, we're coming for that stuff. And if you don't want to put them in the athletic department, we'll find a place to put them somewhere. I'm just telling you. Somewhere. All these guys, these great athletes. So I'm marking it right here to where Chancellor Robinson, if you want to put him in Old Main, if we're going to find a barbecue restaurant in Fayetteville, I don't care. But the history of this program is not being represented in the end zone complex that was built a few years ago. You walk by, you see 3-inch pictures of the greatest players. Remember when we were there, you'd walk by and you see these great trophies and all these different things. So Dean Weber said, David, please don't let them wipe away all the years of what we've done. So I'm making a commitment right now. If there's any of you want to help, we're going to get that done. And if the chancellor wants to put it on the campus, if Hunter wants to put it somewhere, it's not going to be in the stadium. That stuff down there in the concourse, we're not talking about that. But I'm just talking about when we get next to guys like this who have given us great memories, that's what we want to show. And I want fans to be able to go up there and remember the history of our program. I know it's about money and transfer portal and winning. I want to do that, but I don't want to forget the guys that we're standing on the shoulders of right here. All those folks up there that are making millions, including kids, they're standing on the shoulders of these players right here. So I just want to make a commitment. We're going to get that done this year.
To the applause of the crowd. You know, my only thought was just don't do it OJ style.
Don't like barge in and steal the trophies at gunpoint
with armed guards and go to prison.
Basil's gonna bring.
That was my thought.
Gonna bring some
when
enforcers
he said we're
up
coming
here.
for it. I said, don't do it like OJ did.
That's funny.
And in fact, I texted him, don't do it OJ style. Don't remember. OJ was just going to get his stuff back, man.
That's what got him. That's what got him. Ultimately, that's what got him.
Ultimately got him.
Isn't that amazing?
It wasn't the double murder, the double homicide.
Not
the
That
homicide.
wasn't it.
No.
It was trying to get his stuff back.
Wanted his trophies.
Jerseys and his trophies. And I get it's different. I do. But how many garages are there around in Arkansas with trophies in them, in boxes? And one day you just throw them in the trash can. I mean, I don't know. Like I get it, but sometimes I don't think it's about the trophies, and I don't think it's about the plaques, and I don't think it's about the jerseys.
They're symbols.
There's a disconnect
There
is felt. And here, if you've ever been in a relationship, what do we know about this? It's not necessarily what's real or true. It's what's felt. It just is. And there is a feeling of disconnect and I hear from them a lot. You hear from them, Chuck. Some of it has become public, and it's not always handled the right way. But there's a feeling of disconnect. But the reality is there's a feeling of disconnect in all kinds of ways, not just former players and accomplishments, but in eras, because we don't live in the same college experience anymore. It's completely different. And I think some of us identify that as being the problem. I don't know that it completely is, but when things aren't right, this becomes or feels like that, well, one of the problems we have is we're not connected to our past. Well, if they were winning 10 games a year in football right now, nobody's talking at the Touchdown Club about getting some trophies out of a storage unit in Rogers.
No, you're right.
But when you're not winning and things aren't right, it allows all of the things that aren't quite right or don't feel quite right to become a talking point. So I don't mean to make fun of Basil. Like I get his heart's in it and all that, but I would like you to think about, just as we go, can we take a segment and just talk about where all your old trophies are? Where's everyone's old trophies today? Are they on the mantle in your house? Do you tell everybody when they come over, that's my 6th grade championship right there?
I've got an old punt, pass, and kick trophy.
There's my 3rd grade.
6th
Yeah,
grade.
yeah. See,
I've still got it.
This is where I'm going.
Still got
We're
it.
only going to
I
do
know
it.
where it
We're
is.
only going to do it for a
Point
couple
made.
of segments
I know where
because
it is.
we've got. This is your day to tell your story about your past achievement for a segment. It's 6:12. It's Tuesday. What a glorious day. Good morning. It's still cold.
I could be mistaken, but I did read it.
It's pretty
It
even.
could have been incorrect, but I did read it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like walk-ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside of Fayetteville Auto Parts.
I love a day or weekend at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark, and members enjoy it all. State-of-the-art practice facilities, food, beverages, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, tennis and pickleball courts, and they can even book you an exclusive fly fishing trip. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. It's Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. It's home away from home.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
That's special.
I can't figure out if Chuck's playing a role here, or this is how he feels, or if he cares at all.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Man, we have such a celebrated audience. All these winners, these trophy winners.
I'm going to read this.
Yeah.
In 1997, this is Dr. Tyler in Fayetteville. In 1997, I was a senior in high school. I rushed for 225 yards, 4 touchdowns, and then on defense had 10 tackles, 2 for loss, and a fumble recovery. And I was named the co-player of the week.
And 28 years later, I remember all my stats.
I took my picture with the other player, and that plaque that the San Diego Tribune gave me went right in the trash.
There we go.
Oh, you can tell it still hurts him today.
Yeah.
Eric in Greenwood says he has a bunch of BMX trophies that are in storage somewhere. I have a few old karate trophies.
That's awesome.
that are still displayed in the garage, but not the house.
That's great.
What do you do with your old trophies? What do you do with them? I get their point. I do. I get Basil's point and all that. There's some like legitimate things in there. I mean, I think when people have when you have an athletic program, if you go on a visit to an athletic program, everybody's so proud to show you around their place, and you're there, so you go on the tour. I mean, I remember going to Baylor, Edward. This is before Baylor Plus. This is when we did the Hour Time series for ESPN on the men's and women's program. And I remember Scott Drew just taking me around and showing me everything. And you know what you do? You're like, wow, ooh, awesome. And you're like, all right, can we just go figure this out? And I want to go eat lunch.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about everyone else. I'm sure most people have a better, like, I do have an appreciation for history. But the tours, you know, that's what people are proud of. They're proud of showing you around, and that's like the thing you show people. Hey, if you don't have a new arena, which Baylor did not at the time, they don't come in here and say, look at our old gym. They want to go show you the history. And athletic departments are built on history. And I do think we've lost this, though. And we've lost it, not at Arkansas. I'm talking about in general, because we don't really care as much about the past as we used to. Most people. I mean, they used to have a great display, you know, trophy display at Woodland and, you know, at Ramey and junior highs in Fayetteville. And, you know, and it's not like they still don't have them, but the trophy cases are way better from a long time ago than what they do with the new ones.
Well, you know, I think Basil makes some points. And I know that, you know, trophies generally mean a lot to the people who were part of the group that won them or the person that won them, and they don't always mean a lot to other people. You know, there's a balance to strike. When all you do is glorify your past, you know, when that's all you talk about is your past.
Means you're not very good right now.
Generally, your future's not real bright, and the present's not real great either. And that goes to your point a minute ago. When you're not winning, you tend to bring these things up. Well, by golly, if they just paid more attention to what we did. But I also know this. Players, and I've talked to countless numbers of former players who feel like the minute they're out of here, they're gone. Their contribution no longer appreciated the way it should be. And I get that part too. I've always believed if you want former players to come back to your campus and maybe give you money, you better put a picture of them up on the wall, you know, because they'll come back. They'll show their kids. They'll show their wife, moms, dads. I mean, everybody will come see it. So I think there's something to what he says. I think that it plays well in Little Rock. It really plays well in Little Rock. It plays well with the War Memorial Stadium crowd. It plays well with that group. Because they generally feel like that, and have for a long time, that their contributions have been overlooked. And I get that feeling too. I think, you know, they sincerely feel that way. But, you know, it's kind of like doing a radio show. Bo, you've been doing this a long time. Back in the day, people always thought that everything that you did was taped, that there was a tape of every show that you ever did. Well, stop and think about that. Before you were able to save things digitally, you'd have to buy a warehouse to store all the tape from all the shows that you did. But people think that there's something there all the time, and there's not. And what I'm saying is life goes on.
Until your boss called you and you're in trouble for something you said and they didn't hear it and they want to hear the tape. And you lie and tell them there's not one.
Yeah.
Because there was one from that day's show, but it got destroyed, kind of like some security footage, like 24 hours later.
24 hours later, it's gone. And
then after you lied, you went and made sure that tape didn't exist.
Yeah, I've been there.
Disappeared under suspicious circumstances.
But
I don't know what happened today. The intern didn't come in. He didn't play. Didn't record it.
But that'll, I just think this is all the byproduct of not winning, and we're in limbo right now in terms of who the coach is going to be, and I just think all those things are coming together right now, and I think came together in Little Rock yesterday. But Basil has some points, but I don't know that that's the overriding issue.
I just have this vision of Basil leading a militia of people.
I know.
To the
we're coming to get those trophies.
Unit Rogers.
I know.
And I'm just like, don't do it, OJ style, man. Don't do it. That's that'll get you. You can't go in there and just deal with what's yours.
I know.
Well, I do think it's think it's interesting that there's a storage container in Rogers with this stuff. I'd like to stumble into that.
Yeah, I would too.
Now that's something I'd like to go see.
What's that show, Storage Wars? Is that the show where they buy
something like that?
Yeah,
one of those
storage units.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boy, that'd be a find.
It sure would be.
Wouldn't that'd be good.
We should go on a treasure hunt.
I just want
like national treasure.
I want to ask Basil if he's got the address. Like, can he find it? And then why don't we go up there one day and just film what's in there, and let's see the condition of it.
Just
are they all in like
item by item?
Are they all in like Saran wrap or not bubble wrap in boxes? Or are they just piled on top of each other? Some of them are going to be broken.
It's the old Fiesta Bowl trophy from like when they tied UCLA 10-10.
Yeah.
Just like
stuff
like that.
If Hugo Bezdek was around today, like, do you think they kept? I mean, seriously, I've got all these media passes from big games, and the ones that are laminated and they're specifically for that game, not the just regular press pass you get at a game. But if you go to a national championship game, you've never been to one, you probably keep that. But because of what I do with the college football playoff show. I've got, I don't know how many of these things, but I don't know what to do with them. And I'm not sure I want to throw them away, but I'm like, they're just in a pile in a box somewhere.
I keep them.
Like, what am I going to do with them?
You're going to look at them one day and then you're going to stop.
Man, I was blessed.
It's going to bring back a bunch of memories.
Yeah.
And you're going to stop and you're going to think about that day. And there's something to keepsakes. I mean, there are.
What if we started a Facebook page for this group?
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but
we could just take pictures of all the trophies.
Depends on who you mean by we.
You could say them. You could see them everywhere.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to a brick and mortar place to see the trophies.
Knock
displayed.
yourself out. Do it.
I was going to suggest it to Basil as like maybe another idea.
I just the idea that
the Digital Hall of Fame.
I mean, the idea, and maybe I'm wrong, but the idea that you're going to create, come take him to Little Rock, and we're going to create a trophy display somewhere, and like people are going to, hey, let's go to Little Rock today and look at all the trophies.
Well, they'll already be in Little Rock, and then give something else to see.
I don't know.
They're going to go.
I don't know.
They're not going to go on a pilgrimage to see.
Maybe for a little.
I don't know. You might take your family if you're in there. While we're at this, where's the broadcast wing? Where's the broadcast wing of the greats of all time? We just, talked about this yesterday.
I think you have to live in Little Rock. You have to be from Little Rock
passing
for that
away
to
over the
happen.
week. Mike Nail, Paul Eels, Bud Campbell. I mean, there's a list.
Oh, if Mike had, if he'd been in Little Rock, he would have gotten the same attention they did. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just the truth.
Yeah. But what I mean is like where's the broadcast wing? Chuck Barrett.
I don't think
Matt Zimmerman.
I don't think they're going to have
Quinn
one.
Grovey.
I don't think they're going to have one.
What's in that north end zone, by the way? What kind of display do they have? I can't even remember. This is how important it is to me. I don't know that I've ever really walked through there and looked at that stuff.
When you walk in the main
entrance,
I've been if
in
you
there
go to your
to the
right,
yeah.
I've been in there. We've taped some things in there, but I can't really say that I walked in and like looked around. Now, look, there's people in this town, Rick Schaefer, Kevin Trainer, pay them $10,000 and say redecorate the place. Bring them in like an interior designer in your home. Say, here's my budget, here's my stuff. Make it look good, and pay them, let them do it. I will say this for what Basil said, and he's exactly right about this. The people that really do have an understanding of the program's history have been ushered out. I mean, that's the truth. That's the cold, hard fact. You can argue, you can say anything you want. The people that really understand our history have been ushered out. And the people that are left, while they are good people, have no real understanding of the history of this program. You can't know where you're going unless you know where you've been. How many times did I hear Harold Horton say that over the years at Razorback Club meetings?
Another great one.
And but guys like that, unfortunately, as time passes and new people come in, what they had to say doesn't ring true anymore. It doesn't resonate with people. And folks are ready to move on down the road. So there is something to be said for that, about not preserving your history. Now, I don't know if the answer is creating a trophy case in Little Rock. When I walk into Bud Walton Arena, I'm going to be honest with you, they could do a much better job. When I walk into that stadium, they could do a much better job. And the problem is the people that put it together are not the ones who are here. It's the little things, the touches, the details that make things like that hit home. If you weren't there, if you don't have a working knowledge of it, you are incapable of providing those details. And I think there are enough people in town, and they got some money over there. Throw some money at a guy, say, here's my stuff, make it look good. And I guarantee you, if you hire any of these people, they do it from the heart, and you'd get 10 times what you paid.
If you missed Basil's comments, they're on the Little Rock Touchdown Club social media page about coming to get the trophies back. Another way to do this in the modern era is go to Blakeman's, and that's where you mark your journey and you wear it around. Maybe it's a timeless timepiece, or maybe it's jewelry. They're way more than jewelry there. They really are about your story. But you can mark your moments, you can mark your celebrations, your milestones in life at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. I've done it. Many others have too. You will love your experience there when you go into Blakeman's. Get a latte from Cafe B, maybe a Prosecco. But the purple bag that they put it in never disappoints. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Where are your trophies? The Chuck and Bo Show at 6:30. Good morning. If you need an emergency contact, just write the Chuck and Bo Show. We'll be your emergency contact.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hog Trough Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hog Trough, you get the best of both worlds: professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com. When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds, make the right call.
Today's been it's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
think that you stick with Bobby. And this is the reason why. If you reset and hit the reset button, first of all, you got a coach who wants to be there. And
I can't figure out if Chuck's playing a role here, or this is how he feels, or if he cares at all.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I'm starting to go down
Those
memory
were
lane
the
now.
days. Those were the days. Yeah.
That's what videos and pictures are for.
That's
Be able to-
right. That's right.
That's why Facebook is around.
That's why you keep those trophies.
At the Touchdown Club, Basil did his thing yesterday about all the, all these trophies from bygone eras, prior
Coming
to
to get 'em.
2000.
Coming to get
They're
'em.
in a storage facility in Rogers somewhere, and he's just making a commitment to get them out and display them somewhere, which, that's a Basil thing. Basil's all about doing all kinds of things like that. Madre Hill was the guest at the Touchdown Club in Little Rock yesterday, and he was asked, in their discussion as they were doing the event about the Arkansas coaching search. Now, Madre Hill, for those who may not know, was a great running back here and went on to have a coaching career. He coached in the SEC. He was a running backs coach at South Carolina. Where else did he coach? But he's been around.
He was with Spurrier for a little bit there. He, Madre scored 6 touchdowns in a game. I can see it in my mind's eye right now against South Carolina.
Mid-90s.
Yeah, and that team that went to the SEC championship game in '95, he was a big part of that team. Then got hurt.
Here's what he said about the coaching search.
I think that you stick with Bobby. And this is the reason why. If you reset and hit the reset button, first of all, you got a coach who wants to be there. And I have been around several coaches, and there's 3 different types of coaches, okay? You got the coaches with the ego. When they walk in the room, they want the win to be taken out. And that's your Steve Spurrier, your Bobby Bowden's, your Urban Meyers, your Nick Saban's, okay? Bobby is one of those. Okay. Secondly, you got your recruiter, who's great at recruiting. He can do that. And then you got your stabilizer, Coach Pittman. Okay. So you got to decide what you want. I honestly think we are in a time period where we have to have someone take the breath out of the room.
Madre Hill on the Arkansas coaching search.
It's interesting. When I was listening to Madre say that, and then you go back to what Basil was talking about, with the trophies, you cannot discount what people are saying in other parts of the state. And I think that's a mistake sometimes that people, to use that term on the Hill, I think that's a mistake sometimes that people make, because it's the folks on the other side of the tunnel who are going to decide whether you keep your job or not. That's just the truth. And what Basil said and what Madre's saying right there, there's a sizable number of people in our state that believe it with all their heart. And and look, Madre carries a lot of weight with a lot of people, particularly in the central part of our state, as he should. So I don't think those people's words should be discounted, because when Madre said that right there, hey, there's 1,000 people, for every person that says that, there's 1,000 right behind them. And same for what Basil said.
Let's do our own interview real quick.
Right.
If you don't mind, I'm going to interview you.
Okay.
And, I want to talk about this. I'm serious. So, Chuck, what do we do as a state about this divide that happens at the tunnel? What do we talk about it a lot. It's a real thing. And there's a lot of good people on both sides of the tunnel. And there's a lot of good people that really want what's best for Arkansas football on both sides of the tunnel. What do we do about it? If you were able to create a plan, what would the solution be?
I'm no Basil.
I give Basil a lot of credit. I think he is a uniter in a lot of ways.
I do too. I'm being facetious.
I think to him, he
I don't
knows
know
this
the
isn't
answer.
a major deal.
I
He's
don't
having fun with it. But seriously, when you said what you said a moment ago, it reminded me of it, and that is, I say things like, we got to get everybody on the same page. We got to get everybody, thinking the same thing. That's how you're going to have the most success in Arkansas. And that's all true, but it's also very broad. Like, how do you do that?
Well, I think it starts, and this is a small step, and I'm not saying this is the solution, but you got to know where the towns are. You got to know how to get there. You got to know a little something about them. Take a drive sometime. And look, it's a long drive. But when you go on vacation in the summer, notice the change in lifestyle from when you leave your house in Bentonville and you drive down through the southeastern part of our state, or just below the tunnel. Drive through Alma and Clarksville and go on down there to Conway, go through all that construction in Little Rock, get down there to Pine Bluff, drive down there through Dumas and McGee, and maybe take the long way, go through Eudora. Look at the change in lifestyles over the course of 5 hours. It's like you've moved from one world to the other. We are a very diverse state in terms of the way we live. The way people in the northwest corner live is a lifetime away from the way a lot of people in our state live. And there's a lot more people, again, on the other side of that tunnel than there are on the northwest side. And those are the people, in the final analysis, if you're affiliated with the Razorbacks, if you're a coach, an AD, or whatever, they're the ones that, by and large, are going to decide whether you stay or go. But I do think it starts with understanding the corners of our state and the lives that people live there and their connections to the Razorbacks, and their memories are important. And all that stuff, again, it's a small step, and it may not even matter. I don't know. But I wonder sometimes, and this is not unique to us, folks. I travel around and go to lots of departments. It's this way everywhere. It's the transient nature of college athletics now. The administrators don't have much history in the places where they work lots of times, and they don't understand. It's not they're bad people. They just don't know. What the answer is, you asked a minute ago, I don't know what the answer is. But I do think maybe getting out of the office, getting off that plane, getting in your car, driving somewhere, I think those things matter. They may be inconvenient, but I think they matter.
It's good points.
All right, I'll stop.
It's good.
All right, we'll talk about Weicker Realtors of Griffin.
Well, they know how
for
to
just
do
a
that.
second. They do. They know how to get you into the home you want. I do know that. And they do know the process of getting you there. It's not just a matter of saying, hey, this is the house, I got the money, bang, let's go. Lots of times there's more to it than that. Hey, if you're trying to buy a home right now or trying to sell a home right now with a shutdown, there's things going on. You want someone guiding you through the process, and that's why you need a real estate professional, and that's what you always get with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. They've been doing this since 1978, turning houses into homes. They're in Washington County. They're in Benton County. They've got a great office in Fort Smith. There are some beautiful homes and some beautiful property up around Branson. That's why they've got an office there, too. You can always log on to WeicherGriffin.com.
So it's 36 degrees. We're going to get up to, 50-something this morning.
Close to 60, right, Bart?
Yeah.
Low 60s.
Middle.
Low 60s.
Bart's calling 60s today.
Let me try that again. 36 at 6:44. I can't get any of the numbers right. Bart, what is the time, temperature, and where are we today?
I've got it at 34 degrees on its way up to around 60, 61 today.
That's your time and weather together on the Chuck and Bo Show. We're full service here. We're like the concierge of sports talk radio.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yuengling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yuengling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag is still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
This fall, don't just pay for a heating tune-up. Make it part of a Paschal membership and get year-round benefits for your home. For as low as $8.99 a month, your annual tune-up is included. Plus, members get exclusive discounts on air, plumbing, and electric services. Don't wait until there's a problem. Protect your home, budget, and peace of mind with Paschal. Visit gopaschal.com to learn more and join today. And Razorback fans, we've got exciting news. Paschal is now proud to be the official air, plumbing, and electric provider of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea, and when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
High school sports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley have never had a bigger stage. I'm Alyssa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, and every week we'll be bringing you the stories, highlights, and moments that matter most to our communities. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to our newsletter, check out the Varsity Vibe podcast, and follow us on social media for the latest scores and spotlight features. Get it all at varsityvibearkansas.com.
I don't need Chat GTP. I've got Chuck GTP.
Amen.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
enjoy fake AI-generated stories?
I do.
And getting
I
scammed
do.
on the internet?
I do.
Facebook is for you.
That's what I like. That's what I want.
Yeah.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I like a good fake
that-
story.
What the what story?
No, sorry. Go ahead.
I think that you stick with Bobby. First of all, you got a coach who wants to be there. This is the month of November. It's Thanksgiving. You have to allow him to cook the Thanksgiving meal with his recipe, with his seasoning, because when he did it, we ate well. We got fat. If we're going to judge the man, let's judge him right.
Nothing like a live audience.
Sounds like a sitcom.
Madre had the crowd in his hand right there,
We
didn't he?
ate well. Chuck Barrett reached for combo.
Yeah, there we go. That's it. Is that from last night?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
That's a good one.
Wait for the end.
Let's do it. Let's see.
Yeah,
If,
well, Coach Cal
can we
told
put them
us a
together?
story.
Can you pull up Chuck's laugh there, and I'll play Madre's thing, and you can make it live. We'll do it together like a real sitcom.
Yeah, go. You can start Madres from.
Okay, here we go.
I think that you stick with Bobby. First of all, you got a coach who wants to be there. This is the month of November. It's Thanksgiving. You have to allow him to cook the Thanksgiving meal with his recipe, with his seasoning, because when he did it, we ate well. We got fat. If we're going to judge the man, let's judge him right.
You guys are bad. You guys are bad.
That's fantastic. I love that. Well, we got to go hear from. Just something from Cal last night with you.
Raise your hand if you know anything about algorithms. I knew it. You got like one person. So all of a sudden, I'm getting all these Michael Jordan interviews, tapes. Michael Jordan. Why? The algorithm. I must have looked at 2, and now all of a sudden I'm getting 1,000.
Yeah, how about that? Cal talking about algorithms.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Actually, you're perfect at that.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
Well,
it is.
Oh my God!
It's like this is my. It's like your autopilot laugh.
There are autopilot moments.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I'm
we
not
all
gonna
have
lie.
them. We all
I'm
have
not
them.
gonna lie.
Well, we all have them. It's just your default mode. Like
You're
there's
right.
nothing wrong
no,
with it.
that's exactly
like, what
right.
are you gonna
no,
do? You're
you're
gonna
right.
like laugh hysterically?
Yeah. No, you're right. That's exactly what it is.
Just you happen to be on the mic. Everyone's doing it in the crowd. I'm the worst. Like I go to a live event and I'm in the crowd. Like I want it to succeed, and I try to will it to succeed. I might be the only person laughing, but I'm into it. Like I'm trying to make it, trying to make it work. And that's what you need in a crowd when you're up front. Maybe that's why I do that.
Hey,
I feel that.
I can tell you the key on the coaches shows to getting a laugh from the crowd is to win the game. If you're winning, every joke you tell is hilarious. If you're not winning, you can crack a good one-liner, and it's going to be stone-faced from the audience. I've seen it many, many times.
It's like we were talking about winning takes care of everything. You're not talking about trophies being in a storage unit in Rogers if you're, bowl eligible right now and have an outside shot at the playoff. You're just not. Well, I don't want to do it now because we don't have enough time. But when we start the 7 o'clock hour, we'll talk about what I understand to be happening behind the scenes as it relates to the football program. And the coaching search is a part of that. But I think our conversation rightly has been, it is beyond who you hire as a coach and when it comes to whether you're going to be successful or not as a football program. What has to happen for this program to be in a position to win 8 or more games a year every year or most years, which would put you in the conversation for the playoff, especially after they expand it. And there are some things happening now, and we'll get into some of that. We can talk about names all we want. Who do they actually have a chance to get? And when do they actually pull the trigger is another part of this conversation, because I think we're going to start seeing a school or two in the next couple of weeks, Chuck. Within the next 2 weeks, that are going to make a hire.
Oh, I think dominoes are going to fall
Before
more
the
quickly
season's
than
over.
than we realize, and it'll happen before this month is over. I feel pretty sure about that. I don't know when it's going to happen here, but I know the dominoes will fall, and I suspect it'll be before the final game.
If the dominoes aren't falling your way, call the team that fights for Arkansans. Maybe you're struggling to get Social Security disability, could be bankruptcy, could be anything. Get a free consultation at CadellReynolds.com. 866-314-3728. Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time Hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more, they carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today. Hey, it's Bo, and I want to share something that's completely enhanced my day-to-day life. About a year ago, I started telling you about the Sweatnum Edge. Well, over the last several months, here's what's happened for me. My energy level is completely different. My exercise gains have seen a big jump. My mind is clearer, and frankly, life is just more enjoyable. Now, that's my story. What about you? Search the Sweatnum Edge online and get a free evaluation today. It's made a big difference for me, and I know it can for you too. The Sweatnum Edge. Cycling meets vision with McDonald Eye and Zeo Optics for the See Better and Ride Better Vision Expo. Thursday, November 13th at 5:35 p.m. at the new McDonald Eye office in Rogers. Learn how LASIK can sharpen your sight for every ride and try on the latest Zeo sunglasses made for adventure. Enjoy free Zeo giveaways, LASIK discounts, beer from Bentonville Brewing, and the newest bikes from Meteor Bike. Plus a chance to win a free pair of Zeo shades. Just RSVP now at McDonaldEye.com. So I spent yesterday. You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Can we get somebody? I mean, listen, there are people all over college athletics right now just handing out money for coaches to go away. How about a little bit better cause? Let's grant Chuck his wish.
That's right.
Of being able to make this happen.
Pay me not to be on the air.
Yeah.
Just pay me. Pay me. I can be bought. I've been to a lot of places. I've had a very full career.
Yeah.
If you want to throw some money my way to walk away, I'm down with that.
I'm good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Bobby Petrino's coming up in about 10, 12 minutes.
Okay.
We'll hear from the
Got to get back into football mode this
interim
week.
coach. We've heard a little bit from him. Press conference yesterday, and sounds like they had bounce back practices, and things are going, as well as could be expected. We've wondered, would the team hang on, and what kind of effort will they bring again on Saturday? It seems like for what they lack in talent, they've got some good leadership, some good guys that want to win, competing, playing hard, and can they put it together for a game?
Well, I think there's a real mystery probably on both sides this week about, who's going to come play. Who's still going to find a way to be at their best Saturday? Because look, LSU's they're in an interim situation too. They've had a rough go of it. Expectations have not been met. Theirs has just been chaotic at times. But yet they're still LSU, and they've still got a lot of talent. And if they decide to come out there and play, then they're formidable and then some. But you can say the same thing about Arkansas. So. I just think it's a question, and it's, I don't know the answer to it. Which team's going to come out and play with the most fire Saturday?
Women's basketball team won in overtime against UCA last night.
I watched that.
I did too. Kept me up late. That and the Monday night game.
Yeah, it was a competitive
10-7
game.
thriller between the Eagles and the Packers that the Eagles won.
And, this was on the heels of a 10-7 thriller on Thursday night, too. I don't know what's going on in the NFL right now, but 10-7 games are not going to do it.
Back to
for a television
defense
audience.
wins championships is what's happening.
Well,
I thought those days were done.
But there's entertainment value in all this too. At the end of the night, it's a television show, and you're trying to get people to watch it. And 10-7's not going to do it.
Points do that.
That's
what
scoring,
you're saying.
big plays.
The Eagles are just terrible to watch. They're just terrible to watch.
They are a boring watch.
I've said it before.
They're a boring
but
watch. You're right.
I mean,
they are.
They hand it off over and over, third and long, and just hand it off.
Did you hear that, John Mullins?
There's no
John Mullins
attempt
is a
to
big
try and get
Philadelphia
first down.
Eagles
It's terrible.
fan. They
have so
may
much
win,
skill.
but they're terrible
so
to
much
watch.
skill, but
They're boring.
They don't use it.
No, not exciting at all. Nobody likes the Eagles. Nobody.
Well, Eagles fans like them.
Yeah. Well,
but aside
Bruiser,
from that,
Flint, John Mullins, the two people that I know that like the Eagles.
I know a handful
I've got
of people
family
that
in
are Eagles
Pennsylvania
fans.
who are all about the Eagles.
I know people from Pennsylvania.
How about that? Maybe it's the same
Well,
people.
I lived there for a few years when I was a kid.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'm not an Eagles fan.
76ers?
No. Like I said, I'm still waiting for an NBA team to recruit me. By the way, nobody recruited me. Not a single NBA team. I'm not even for it now. Whatever. I don't need the NBA. That's their fault. It's not my fault. If I'm the consumer, But I don't have any. I don't have really any. I'll just root for former Arkansas guys, and if there's a game on that's interesting, I'll watch it for a few minutes.
I think that's how a lot of people are.
Yeah, well, it's their fault.
Maybe
if they wanted more people to watch, they could come and get us.
Maybe they don't care about
We're
you.
here. That is my conclusion.
They
don't care. I put it out there.
Your name's.
Your name's
in a box.
Yeah,
In a storage room. They don't care anything about you at all.
That's where exactly. If you missed that, David Basil making headlines at the Touchdown Club yesterday about the old trophies that are in a storage unit in Rogers somewhere, and they're coming to get them. And I just told them, don't do it OJ style. Basketball tonight, Arkansas. Yes? Bart's in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room.
I just happened to see this YouTube comment, and it goes with what you just said. This guy, Chase, said, I stand with David Basil. Y'all are a joke for not standing up for our history.
Who said we're not standing up?
I have no idea.
Well, look. Let me just say
stand
this.
with David
No.
Basil.
Let me say this, guys. When you're 2-7, when you're 2-7, it's a little bit raw to maybe completely make fun of it. I'm just going to say this. When you're 2-7 and you say things like what Basil said, and somebody makes light of it, emotions are pretty raw right now, and that's why, in part, it's why I said it, and secondly, it's why it resonates because it's when you're 2-7. People aren't in a great mood.
Well, we can take a field trip.
I just laughed.
Not
at the comment.
I
y'all are a
understand.
joke for not standing up
I
for our
understand,
history.
but I'm going to tell you, I've been
doing
reading
that.
the comments too, and I know where
You
people
guys
stand.
read too many comments.
I don't need to read them. I know. I know what people are saying around the state, and 9 out of every 10 people, when Basil said that, were pumping their fists. Play it.
Now
Play
you're
it.
gonna make me play it again because we
Play it.
have to give some context here. Here's Basil at the Touchdown Club yesterday.
I'm just going to make a commitment right here. Everybody gets irritated with me up on the hill anyway. So all these guys up here, if they won any trophies, any plaques, any jerseys, they're all sitting in a storage unit somewhere in Rogers. Dean Weber told me, he said, David, I feel like, and this might have been under Jeff Long, I don't know, and I don't really care. He says, I feel like they're dismissing everything that was done before 2000. So I don't know where the Grantland Hill Trophy is. I don't know where the Cotton Bowl Trophy of the 60s was. I think they're all in a storage unit somewhere. So here's the deal. I'm just telling you. I don't care if Hunter Yurachek wants to do it or not. But Chancellor, here's the deal. These guys and all of us who've played for the last 60 years, 75 years, we're coming for that stuff. And if you don't want to put them in the athletic department, we'll find a place to put them somewhere. I'm just telling you somewhere. All these guys, these great athletes. So I'm marking it right here to where Chancellor Robinson, if you want to put him in Old Main, if we're going to find a barbecue restaurant in Fayetteville, I don't care. But the history of this program is not being represented in the end zone complex that was built a few years ago. You walk by, you see 3-inch pictures of the greatest players. Remember when we were there, you'd walk by and you see these great trophies and all these different things. So Dean Weber said, David, please don't let them wipe away all the years of what we've done. So I'm making a commitment right now. If there's any of you want to help, we're going to get that done. And if the Chancellor wants to put it on the campus, if Hunter wants to put it somewhere, it's not going to be in the stadium. That stuff down there in the concourse, we're not talking about that. But I'm just talking about when we get next to guys like this who have given us great memories, that's what we want to show. And I want fans to be able to go up there and remember the history of our program. I know it's about money and transfer portal and winning. I want to do that, but I don't want to forget the guys that we're standing on the shoulders of right here. All those folks up there that are making millions, including kids, they're standing on the shoulders of these players right here. So I just want to make a commitment. We're going to get that done this year.
A lot of reaction. The crowd goes wild, and that's going to happen.
They're marching on Rogers or Bella Vista or wherever it is.
Hey, Bobby Petrino's coaching for a trophy on Saturday at LSU, one that David Basil created. And we'll talk to the interim head coach of the Razorbacks when we come back. We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank. How do you bank better? Friendly, local banking. That's how you do it. They're all in on local support. More convenient locations all over the state of Arkansas. Check them out online, fsbank.com. It's First Security Bank, member FDIC. Good Tuesday morning.
Bart, you speak like you're the only smart man breathing.
I take that as a compliment, I think.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag is still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Safe Sports Radio.
That's special.
Special place. I mean, that's why I'm so fortunate that I was able to come back here, you know, and I think that we've got to get it back to that special place where everybody in the state is behind the Hogs.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We had a bye week. Arkansas practiced twice. They really wanted to get healthy, according to Coach Petrino. LSU's a 5.5-point favorite, open at 6.5. The Razorbacks' second bye week of the season, and now they go into a trophy game. This has been a perceived rivalry game for a long time, and here to talk about it and the preparation and how things are going is Arkansas head coach Bobby Petrino. Coach, thanks for making time for us. Good morning.
Morning, Coach.
Good morning, Bo. How you doing? Hey, Chuck.
Doing great. Okay, so do you like the weather right now? Like when you get in early in the morning and it's 30s, or is this something you enjoy? Does it feel more like football?
It feels like the last month of football, that's for sure. It's cooled down a lot, but no, it's kind of nice to go out there with the breeze and the cool in the air.
You know, I heard you talking at your news conference yesterday about the way these guys have responded. What would you say about this team and this group and this journey you guys are on together?
Well, we've been working hard together. We've stayed together. The guys are doing a good job of leading each other, trying to just maintain a great positive attitude, a good work ethic, and and develop and get better each day as a football player.
How challenging is it, Coach, when you don't have that win that kind of gives everybody the shot in the arm? What's the message? What do you do to sort of just keep everybody focused on trying to win the next play or the next game?
Well, not winning games is always a big challenge. You know, it first challenges your attitude and your work ethic. So the main things that we're focusing on is making sure we enjoy what we're doing. You know, all these guys signed up to be college football players. All of them have aspirations above college. So there's a lot to work for and a lot to be dedicated to. They've been very dedicated athletes and made commitments to have football as their number one sport. So they're continuing to do that. And then we're just trying to have great work ethic when we go out to practice and put great effort into each period that we're out on practice.
I was going to ask you about that. Just the competition in practice among players. What's that been like lately?
It's been good. You know, we because of the way the scholarships are now and the limited amount of rosters, you practice a little bit different. Everything isn't just against the scout team. We do a lot of things that were the way we practiced when I was in the NFL, where, the ones go against the twos, but the twos are given LSU's defensive look. The twos are given LSU's offensive look. And I think it makes for a lot more physical practice, a lot of competition in it, and the guys enjoy it more because it's fast and physical.
Coach, how's Talon doing? You said he was healthy in your news conference. What's the offense? You've had some offensive line injuries to deal with and all that. Just where are you on offense, and how's Talon doing?
Yeah, I feel good about where we're at physically. Talon's doing really well. He came in and worked last week, practiced Sunday night, was full speed, fast, looked really good. A couple offensive linemen back on last weekend, Sunday night, so that's good for us. Defensively, Charlie Collins, I guess, would be our biggest question right now. Charlie's working hard at getting ready to play on Saturday. We just got to see how he reacts to going out and physically practicing, and hopefully he doesn't have any setbacks.
When you talk about players who are working to get back, when the season's not gone well and you've not won as many as you want, just working to get back from an injury is not a given. It sounds like you've got 3 or 4 guys there that really have bought into the rehab and they want to play some more before the season's over.
Yeah, I think, they all understand how many games are left, and some of them, that's all they have in their career left. Some of them are competing to try to do a good job and get drafted and be in the NFL. So there's a lot of motivation there as individual athletes. We're just trying to really work hard on keeping it together as a team, supporting each other, competing hard, putting it all out on the field. And, the number one thing you want to do is win games, but the number 2 thing you need to be able to do is look in the mirror and say, I gave everything I had. I competed as hard as I possibly could. And then, we got to figure out ways to win.
Coach, LSU's in an interim situation too, and they fired their offensive coordinator. And how does that impact preparations, if at all, in terms of what you guys do to kind of figure out what this might look like?
Well, you obviously look at all the games and everything that they've done, and then focus in on Alabama and, how they called the game on Alabama. They used 2 different quarterbacks, so that's always something that you have to really work at and prepare for and understand, what's the difference in the play calling when one quarterback's in and the other. We did play against both quarterbacks last year, so that gives us a little bit of understanding of who they are. But there's going to be things they do different that they haven't done. They're going to change some things up, and we have to be sound in what we're doing, sound in our alignments, and then play fast and play physical. And they've been a team that wants to throw the ball a lot, but we're going to have to stop the run. We know they're going to come in and try to run the ball.
What's it like to go to Baton Rouge and play a game in that stadium. This will be at 11:45 in the morning, so it's not at night under the lights, and that can be different. But it's still going to be, an environment that the people are excited about a game. What's that like going into LSU from the many times you've done that?
It's always been a lot of fun. You look forward to it. You like the hostile environment. You like everybody's cheering against you. It's all we got is who we have on the sideline, and you go out there and enjoy the experience and enjoy the competition. And, you're playing at one of the greatest stages in all of the United States of America. So you got to just really enjoy the experience and go do the best possible job you can.
Is your message any different at all after the bye week, after the last game, going into this game, or is it just the same as it's been from the moment that you were asked to take over this position as you go into, the final 3 games of the season here?
I think that's kind of like a two-part question. The number one thing is you got to continue to keep the same message as far as your competitive spirit and your effort and putting everything out on the field. But then we've got to continue to improve, and we have shown improvement on playing the game of football well, doing things right, doing my technique correctly, tackling correctly, blocking correctly. So we've still got a lot of work to do to improve individually and as a unit, offense, defense, and special teams.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you hopping on with us. Good luck this Saturday as you guys go to Baton Rouge. I hope you have a spot on the plane for the big trophy that you got to bring back if you win the game.
Yes, sir. We'll have a spot for it.
All right, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Good luck to you. We'll talk soon.
Thanks. You guys have a good one.
You too. Appreciate it. That would be,
big trophy.
Listen, I know for fans that we sit back and we just like, wow, they've lost 7 straight games and whatever about this. And look, when the TV comes on, or you'll be at the game, Chuck, calling it. But when they kick the ball off on Saturday, you want to win the game. And I don't at this point, whatever the record is, the record is. But if they win that game, everybody's going to feel a lot better. I mean, a lot better. Those guys need a win in the worst way. And if you can go into LSU, I don't care what their situation is, and you come back with a trophy, you talk about a memory from a season that doesn't have a lot of memories to it. I mean, forget what's going to happen the next week and the last week after that. But like I've said, I'll be watching the game, and I'll be excited to see it.
They'll go to Baton Rouge Friday. And if you didn't know the situation, you'd get on the plane and you would think this is a team that, may have won all their games. Who knows? In other words, they'll be professional in their approach, just like they always are. They'll go down there and they'll prepare to play. What you hope, and I'm sure LSU hopes this too, that the first time something goes wrong, because it will, and it'll probably happen early. The first time something goes wrong, do you play through that? Or is the day done? And when you get to this stage of the season with teams that, from the outside looking in, don't have as much to play for as maybe some others, what happens after the first bad play is oftentimes pretty indicative of how the rest of the day is going to go.
Cameron is in Fayetteville. We'll take a call here on the Chuck and Bo Show at 7:25. Cameron, good morning.
Hey, Cameron.
Let's see how your signal is here.
We got a little spotty.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go. It's better now. Go ahead.
Go.
Speak quickly before we lose it.
Yeah,
this guy's got one bar.
He rounded another curve.
Yeah, he's got one bar, and it's fledgling.
Well, I'll tell you what.
It's like Chuck calling from, like he's lost in the desert. And he's got one bar, and we're trying to make out where he is.
Yeah.
Because we don't have his location. We don't have your location, so we've got to depend on your communication.
We're going to let Cameron drive down the street, and I'm going to talk about WT equipment while he does.
Let's do it. Getting the job done.
Hey, it's family-owned. It's locally operated. They've got 8 locations across Arkansas, and if you've got work to do, they are your partners. Whether it's the work around the land that you have, maybe you've got a farm, maybe it's a job site. WT Equipment has the tools to get it done. Trusted brands, New Holland, Hunter, Steel, and the legendary Bobcat. They've got a staff that knows what they're talking about, too. They're an expert staff. They will help you find what you need. And their commitment to service runs deep, just like their Arkansas roots. So if you're looking for dependable equipment and folks who treat you like family, stop by your nearest WT Equipment location or visit WTEquip.com, and let's get to work.
Those Bobcats are great for light construction. Is he back? Do we still have him? No? Yes?
I haven't answered yet.
I
thought we
got
were
you.
going to
Wait, we are. 7:20. I was just going to give Cameron another shot if he'd gotten up to 2 bars.
You should go, just try it.
You
Just
know.
try it.
That's okay.
Okay.
We'll come back, and as promised, I've been talking about it for an hour and a half, and we haven't gotten into it yet.
What are we gonna do?
What's happening about the getting the football program, what's being done behind the scenes to get it in a position to compete. We'll get into that. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Bo.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Hey, it's Bo, and I want to share something that's completely enhanced my day-to-day life. About a year ago, I started telling you about the Sweatnum Edge. Well, over the last several months, here's what's happened for me. My energy level is completely different. My exercise gains have seen a big jump. My mind is clearer, and frankly, life is just more enjoyable. Now, that's my story. What about you? Search the Sweatnum Edge online and get a free evaluation today. It's made a big difference for me, and I know it can for you too. The Sweatnum Edge.
Bo, when your show went off a few years ago, it was like I've been lost ever since then. And I just really appreciate your show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bart's over there fact checking. Kind of ruined.
Just ruined the whole day for me. Has everything I've said on this show been fact checked?
This would not have happened. This would not have happened.
Have you gone home and fact checked everything I've said?
No.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Veterans Day.
Yes.
Take a moment to thank the veterans, all of them, past, present, people that really we owe a massive debt of gratitude to. Not everybody wants to sign up for that. And if they don't, then we don't have what we have. And so we should celebrate that today. Enjoy that. If you know a veteran, make sure you buy them a lunch. At minimum, you say thank you.
Just thank you for your service is a pretty good place to start.
A great place,
there.
yeah. At minimum, absolutely. So today is Veterans Day, and we want to make sure we acknowledge that. I know there'll be a bunch of workouts done all over the country today with veterans in mind, special Veterans Day workouts. I think they had a parade on Dixon Street on
Were they working
Saturday.
out during the parade?
No,
or was it just a parade?
these are just things that like CrossFit gyms and people like that do. I can give it to you, Chuck. You can do it at home. I'll give you a home version that you can do in honor of Veterans Day.
Okay.
But I think you're going to settle for a simple thank you for your
Yeah,
service. We
yeah.
really appreciate it. Which that's great. We're going to try Cameron again. Before we do, we got a couple calls here. I'll get into this more when we have a minute here because we've just been going from one thing to the next throughout the show. But from what I've been able to understand, and we've talked about it a little bit, there is, I think Hunter is moving throughout the state, talking to certain groups of people in an effort to raise $30 to $35 million over the next 3.5 years to infuse into the football program. You'll remember when he was asked about Pittman not having the resources. And as Chuck pointed out, some people thought for some reason that Hunter was withholding resources from Pittman. And that wasn't the case. The facts were that they didn't have the money to give to football to do more without taking it away from something else in the athletic department. At the same time, they were trying to get $20.5 million together for rev share and paying players. So if you hear things like Virginia Tech raising $40 million for its football program. Well, similar things are happening here at Arkansas. That is the effort that is ongoing. And there's more to get into there, and we will. But when you think about who the next coach is going to be, whomever it is, you're going to have a better candidate pool. Like I'm talking about assistant coaches, a better salary pool. Better support, a better operating budget within the football program. And that's even beyond just what you're giving players. Arkansas has been operating at a deficit that's near the bottom of the conference in terms relative to whatever, not necessarily a deficit, but not spending the money that other schools are spending in this conference. While they've been wildly successful in other sports, football has not come with that. But there are also few athletic departments that are competing broadly like Arkansas is. And that's one of the things that's been decided at the top. They want to have a broadly competitive athletic department. But they've also got to go raise more money like they did for basketball. They're going to have to do that for football to get into a more competitive situation. All right, Cameron's in Fayetteville. Cameron, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, great. You sound like $1 million.
Hey, I got a question for Bart, but I mean, I've heard you say this 1,000 times. You want to hire the best football coach that gives us the best chance to win football games. Realistically, I don't think we can get James Franklin or John Summerall. My question to Bart is, who is your top candidate? Because I know you don't want Bobby Petrino, and why does that candidate give us a better chance to win football games other than Bobby? And I guess my argument for Bobby is he knows the state of Arkansas. He knows who to go to for money. He's proven that he can win with less talent. Hell, he almost beat us with Missouri State, an undersized, under-talented team than us. I mean, why does your candidate give us a better chance to win football games other than Bobby?
All right. Bart, you've gotten a call here from Cameron. We're in the Chevy
Cameron's drawing
Fayetteville
the dividing
situation
line
room.
right there.
He's come to Bart and asked a question.
Yeah, and it's a fair question, and I appreciate the question. I'm not sure I can sit here and rattle off like the guy that like I haven't dug in enough to identify like this is the guy that Arkansas should go out and hire. I continue to say, and I will repeat it over and over again, even if it's after the hire and it's somebody who doesn't fit the criteria, it's got to be somebody who has coached in this league. Whoever it is, it has to be somebody who has coached in the SEC. Otherwise, it will not work. Period. End of story. We have enough data at schools across the SEC to know that it won't work. As far as why it's true, Chuck. I mean, we have years and years of data.
There are exceptions to every piece of data.
I don't disagree with that
There are
data.
exceptions to every piece of data.
But I will say also,
just telling you.
No, I'm not disagreeing. Can you turn them up a little bit, Edward? I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you, but at the same time, when we start talking about the past and data, we weren't in a transfer portal then.
You're right.
I mean, we weren't in this situation then.
Yeah,
now, you
true.
do have to understand how to win in this league. But Kurt Cignetti, I mean, went to the Big Ten from from years of not, I mean, I know we spent some time with Saban and all that. But when you can bring a team with you and you go do what he's done at Indiana, for example. Sure. So I'm not discounting it. But I'm saying if you find me a coach with high capacity who's really, really good, who's a great salesman, who can get people to follow, who can get people to get on board, and the only thing they don't have is they haven't been in the SEC, I'm going to probably say those are enough boxes that are checked that I'd take a chance.
There is a learning curve in our league, though. I mean, there is a learning curve. There's no doubt about that.
But I think Cameron's point is it's hard to just dismiss Petrino when you don't have a candidate.
As for why I don't think it should be Bobby Petrino, I've been very clear on that a number of times. I don't really feel like relitigating that argument because it's a waste of breath. It's a waste of oxygen because the people who are convinced that Bobby Petrino should be the next head coach are convinced that he should be the next head coach. And I'm not going to change their mind no matter how many data points or anything that I give you that point to the fact that he is not the right guy to lead this program on a permanent basis moving forward. So it's just like, I appreciate the question. I just don't. I'm happy to relitigate it, but I just think it's a waste of time.
I love Bart saying that he doesn't want to relitigate it. That was enough for me. Like, just that phrase was enough for me.
Data.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to relitigate it. Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. Eric is in Fort Smith. Eric, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, fellas. Morning. You all doing all right today?
Doing okay. How are you?
Well, I'm doing well. First thing I wanted to say is reiterate what y'all said before you came out from break. I wanted to wish all my fellow veterans a happy Veterans Day.
Well, thank you for your service.
Really appreciates. Well, I appreciate it. Everyone appreciates your service, and make sure you go get your free meals today.
That's great.
That's about what the veteranship is good for these days. Free meal at Waffle House. Wes, my real question, though, the reason I called in, just a thought. I don't know of any really big coaching names who are vets, but imagine if we got a vet in the head coaching position, or at least the offensive coordinator position. I think that would bring a lot of esprit de corps and, a lot of bigger teamwork motivation behind it. I
don't know what was going on there, and
I
we
don't
didn't
know.
hang
We had
up,
some
but his
issues. We did not hang
phone
up,
dropped.
yeah.
I do feel like I don't know how much time Eric spent in major college football facilities, but I will tell you, like, there is a lot of that. I'm not saying they're all veterans. There's a lot of coaches that are veterans, but there is a lot of that. Like, that is football. Like, discipline is the number one key, and playing for each other are very similar to, what you see or what you hear about from veterans. John at Hamburg. John, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Go ahead.
Good morning, guys. Kind of listening to you this morning, obviously talking about David and his comments. And, David obviously knows that program pretty well. He knows what's happened the last 15 to 18 years. I don't think the average Razorback fan knows the damage that Jeff Long did to this brand inside the state of Arkansas. And I'm not going to air all his dirty laundry, the things that he was doing and wanted to do away with when he got there. But I can just say this. I'm listening to Bo. You talk about Hunter's going to go around the state, try to raise some money. I remember having conversations, one very vivid conversation in 2012 with a guy that worked at J.B. Hunt and just listening to him talk about playing football games in Little Rock and how we couldn't afford to do it. It was just a waste of time, and it was a dump. And, the guy never probably played it down. He certainly wasn't a letterman. But the arrogance of that statement at that time, I remember it reeked of arrogance. And, those chickens have come home to roost. Jeff Long wanted to make that a regional school, and you have lost the support throughout this state for that football program. And you earned it. And I'm a Razorback, and I love that program. And, I graduated there. My wife graduated there. But the arrogance of the people involved in that corner of the state 10 to 15 years ago, it was real. And now today, it's hilarious to listen. I'm not even going to blame Yurchek. He didn't know what he's doing. I mean, he walked into this deal. But to listen to him have to go around and raise the money, and I can go back to 15
John, we got to hit
ago.
a break, but respectfully, what other program in the country would you say that they lost the program? So if they lost the program, that's on us. It's your program. It's not Hunter's. It's not Jeff Long's. There are systems in place. There are elected officials like the governor who puts board members in place. This idea that mistakes that athletic directors make have ruined it all and there's not coming back. Like, where else is that true in major college football? Back in a minute. You're right, Chuck. You're right. You're right.
You're not wrong, Chuck.
Because we don't want wanted to hear. That's really all I wanted to hear.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yuengling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yuengling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more, they carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
The nation's best home court advantage lives inside Bud Walton Arena. The Razorbacks are back inside the Basketball Palace of Mid-America, and Coach Calipari and the Hogs need you there and need you loud all season long. A limited number of single-game tickets are available right now. Just head over to ArkansasRazorbacks.com and purchase yours today.
When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You've been thinking that you travel a lot, and we were wondering if it'd be okay if you just shared your location with us.
Probably not. But
just in case anything happens.
Yeah, I
just with the family here.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
would you mind sharing your location with us?
I would mind. Yes.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, I know they're already on the job at Chevy of Fayetteville, and I don't mean just, trying to sell cars and trucks. I mean, the service department's operational right now. The collision center's going. Everybody's at work. They've got model year-end clearance savings right now on the remaining new 2025 models at Chevy of Fayetteville. Huge savings on the new 2025 Silverados. I can recommend those. Big savings on the 2500s, the Suburbans, the Tahoes, and more. Now, these deals aren't going to last forever, as you might imagine. And I'll also tell you 0% financing is back for a limited time on a lot of the new Silverados, the Trailblazers. The Equinox is popular right now. They've got 0% financing available there. Some of your EV models, too. November is the best time to buy from Chevy of Fayetteville. Chris, Mark, Denver, the whole team. Together, let's drive.
41 degrees if the weather app is correct. Bart may have it at 39, but it's 41. It's
chilly.
It's going to get up to, the mid-50s today. But, yeah, we got a little cold mornings. We're dealing with that. Boy, a lot of reaction to
there is a lot of reaction.
Basil's comments.
Well, there is.
John, I didn't mean to cut John off. We did have to hit a break. But I know you have a great sense of just sort of how fans feel. And I think we've heard a bunch of that in, the last 365 days.
Well, I think the first thing that should be said, Jeff Long did not ruin the athletic department. Hunter Yurachek has not ruined the athletic department. We tend to, whenever things go south, we're always looking for somebody to blame. Now, look, there have been missteps along the way. And the biggest thing to me right now, and it came through in what John said, and I realize, even to an extent, what David said. Sometimes when you get disgusted, you start rolling, and maybe your facts aren't quite right. Maybe you generalize. Maybe you exaggerate a little bit. But you say it with such passion that people are like, man, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. That's what I heard when I listened to what David said. He's a little loose with his facts there. But he also captured the emotion that a lot of people feel. There's a huge difference between talking to an audience and talking at an audience. The one thing Basil does very, very well is talk to his audience. The one of the things, and I'm just going to be honest right here, that the athletic department, and I'm using the big phrase, right, the athletic department, I think sometimes they talk at people. When the same phrase has come out over and over and over again, you're no longer talking to people, you're talking at them. Now, what David said, what John said, I think all that ties into what you were talking about. With Hunter going out and trying to raise $35 million. Let's not act like $35 million just grows on trees in our state. There are only a handful of people that can provide you with that kind of money. If they say no, there are not many places to go after that. I do think the overall feel, the overall vibe is important, and I realize those are, terms that you can apply a lot of different definitions to. But I think the first order of business, and I'll say what I said a minute ago, is reconnecting with the average Arkansan. Because you're right, when you say it is your program, it's their program, it's our program, all that stuff does have to find.
But it hasn't felt that way.
It has not felt that way. And there's got to be, somebody's got to be that unifier. Somebody's got to be that unifier. I don't know who it is.
Well, when you talk about the athletic department, you're talking about just a department that gets filled with a lot of different people that cycle through. And a lot of that's happened over the years.
Your history is important.
We've lost some things
along the way. When you erase part of your history, you're basically telling people your contributions aren't that important, and that doesn't sit well with people.
More to come. We're right in the middle of it. Good morning. When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
This fall, don't just pay for a heating tune-up. Make it part of a Paschal membership and get year-round benefits for your home. For as low as $8.99 a month, your annual tune-up is included. Plus, members get exclusive discounts on air, plumbing, and electric services. Don't wait until there's a problem. Protect your home, budget, and peace of mind with Paschal. Visit gopaschal.com to learn more and join today. And Razorback fans, we've got exciting news. Paschal is now proud to be the official air, plumbing, and electric provider of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Need help growing your brand with strategy and creativity? At Vanquish Marketing, the mission is simple. Help businesses grow with clarity, kindness, and excellence. They don't just run ads or manage campaigns. They come alongside brands as a true partner. By creating data-driven marketing funnels and building strategies that scale, they equip their clients for long-term success. Guided by their core values, they know growth is about more than transactions. It's about people. Visit vanquish.marketing to jumpstart your brand today. Chris in Fayetteville, you're on the news, weather, information station.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, we're full service, baby.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Roger in Danville has chimed in. Petrino took over. I said Hogs would go 0-7. Remember, Bo?
Roger's one of these guys that, like, at 7 in the morning, going to be a terrible day. I don't care what everything's going to fall apart. They're not any good. They suck. And then at 5 o'clock, I told you it's going to be a terrible day. Congratulate me on being right. Where's my trophy?
You know, everybody's like, traffic stacked up. You're going to be like,
I predicted that.
What are you smiling about?
The Chuck
I
and Bo
called
Show.
it. I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Merritt and Bo Mattingly.
You know, we've been through a lot of coaching searches around here over the years. We kind of know our way around. There are certain stages. We are moving into the home stretch right now, and emotions are raw. You know, it's getting a little bit raw now. We've been talking about it for fun for 4 or 5 weeks. Now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. And, you know, the emotions are coming out. Baz yesterday, and you know, people are like, you know, when are they going to do this? When are they, you know, and people just start speaking with a little more emotion now. And that's right up our alley.
Don't screw it up.
That's right.
We got a chance here. You made your decision to move on. Now you got to get it right. You got to get it right. And what's it going to look like to get it right? Just to kind of give a little update from what I've been able to gather on where we are in getting it right. I don't know who the next coach is going to be. I don't know how Arkansas is going to play in these last 3 games, but based on what we've seen, you're not hopeful. I mean, you're hopeful, but you're not confident they're going to win the game on Saturday. But what if they do? What if they go to Texas and win? What if they beat Missouri? How much of a factor is any of that in this? But regardless of who you're going to get to be the next head coach, they're going to have some things that Sam Pittman did not have, that Hunter acknowledged that Sam Pittman did not have. So what I'm told is they're trying to raise $30 to $35 million over the next 3.5 years. Would you commit to $30.5 million? They're talking to small groups of people who could afford to give that to infuse the football program with some cash. By the way, Chuck, this is happening all over the country.
Yeah.
We've seen it with Virginia Tech. You know, some programs are blessed with size. Okay? Size does matter at Ohio State, at Georgia, at Florida, at Alabama, just to name a few. Florida, if I didn't mention that, the size of their stadium alone allows them to make millions more in ticket sales as a really easy example. You're competing against these programs. And when you have a deficit relative to those programs, you've got to figure out a way to be able to get more cash into your football program. And that either comes at the expense of your other programs, or if you're trying to maintain a great baseball program and you care anything about your softball program, and I know some people don't, but if your athletic department's trying to be broadly successful, you're going to have to go get that money from somewhere else when you have a gap between you and other programs. And that's what this $30.5 million is going to be for. Look, Missouri, Chuck, they don't pump a bunch of cash into the rest of their athletic programs. You know, they've made a commitment to football, and that's helped them. But even at Missouri, as great as a job that Drink has done, they're not winning 11 games. You know, they're not in the playoff.
Well, he'll probably eventually leave that job because somebody else has more resources.
But because they put the amount of resources they did into football and maybe not some other programs, they've been able to compete maybe at a little bit higher level. So the idea is that's what Hunter's trying to do, from what I'm told from, you know, a lot of people that he's met with. When he took the job, I believe the chancellor's recommendation to him was, we want to be broadly successful, or the directive was be broadly successful as an athletic department. Well, if you're going to do that, you got to go get more money for football, and you got to have people give it to you. But the issue beyond that is, if you're Hunter, and people have been critical of him, like you got to be able to go sell things. And you got to be able to get that money, and that's your job as an AD. Well, Chuck, we're emotionally, we're a damaged state. We're broken. We've got some scars. We've got some wounded hearts, and this has happened. I don't blame one athletic director, the other athletic director, but we have lost it a little bit, or at least we feel like we've lost it from that connectivity that Broyles seemed to have way back. And at the risk of sounding, like too nostalgic, it's just the reality of we've gone through some modernization of college athletics, all the way back to when we had two athletic departments, a men's and a women's. When you go to Jeff Long's job was to come in and modernize the athletic department. Did some good things, made a lot of people mad at the same time, got ran out of here a decade into his tenure. And then you go to Hunter and the interim part between Long and Hunter and whatever happened there. And through this entire process, we've lost some of that Jim Lindsay effect. I mean, I remember Bobby Petrino telling me one time when he was the head coach here that Jim Lindsay was running things. That Jim Lindsay would come down there and say, hey, you need to do this or you need to do that.
Well, he was
or
for a while.
Yeah. I mean,
got Gus hired.
Yeah, well, there was some of that going on. And but my point is who is that person today? And when we shuffle through new personnel in an athletic department, who are those people that are connecting with, let's just call it the most important people in our state from a financial commitment to winning standpoint?
Well, at the end of the day, you're asking somebody to give you their hard-earned money. That's what you're asking. And you should never lose sight of that. You're asking someone to give you money that they have earned. You haven't earned it, they've earned it. And you're asking them to give it to you out of the goodness of your heart. That's a big ask.
And you're getting way more out of it than they are.
Oh, absolutely. I hear, Virginia Tech's going to raise $40 million. The operative word there is going to.
Trying to.
And look, I'm going to be honest. When I hear Hunter Yurachek's trying to raise $35 million, sounds great. But, it's not done yet. And you got to go do it. And you got to be a salesman to go do it. And I worry when I hear statements like what we heard coming out of Little Rock yesterday, that's a tough sell. That's a tough ask right now. I don't know. I'm not in the business of asking for $30 million. That'd be a hard business for me to succeed in, I will admit. But without it, you have no chance. I just wonder if they're going to be able to go get it. I think that's the biggest thing right now. And you talked about stadiums of a bigger size at other places. It's because the population's bigger. It's because they got more people. And it does become a numbers game. We have a lot of wealthy people. I say a lot. Comparatively speaking, we have a good number of per capita. We have a good number of wealthy people in our state. But to say, like, for example, we got more wealthy people in Arkansas than they do in Florida. Are you kidding me? I mean, yeah, we may have the Waltons, we may have the Tysons and the Hunts, but
Stevens.
But I mean, they got their share too, and lots more of them. So my point is the pool is pretty small that you're asking for that money from, but you got to have it, and going out and getting it's that's the tough chore. I don't pretend to understand what the solution is on this. I know that you can't win without it. I tend to think that hiring the right guy would help with that. But I also think our fans are in a position right now with, do you know how many times I've been told that this is the guy? Do you know how many times I've been told that things are going to be different now? I understand that. Now, Bart made a point during a break a minute ago that I think is a good point. And I think we ought to go to the Chevy Fayetteville Situation Room about it.
Let's get in there.
Bart, you have the floor.
Morning, Bart.
Morning, guys.
With some vigor now. Let's go.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. Look, I think I'm going to say this, and I think it's going to go in one ear and out the other for most people.
Give it a whirl.
But if you just take a second and stop and think, shouldn't we give Hunter, based on his track record when it comes to hiring coaches, shouldn't we give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt that he can go out and hire a really good coach? Because when you really stop and think about it, okay, he hired Muss. That worked out pretty well. He hired John Calipari. That's working out pretty well. He hired, Chris Johnson to take over the women's track program after Lance Harder retired. He's already won a national title. He hired Jordan Weber, who has taken the gymnastics program from barely getting people to go to Barnhill Arena to the lower bowl being filled and every meet now being at Bud Walton Arena. And, oh, by the way, signed someone who was an alternate at the Olympics. Like, that program has a higher profile than it has ever had. Those are all hires that he has made. Shouldn't he get credit for that?
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm not sitting here saying that
we want to be good at everything.
That everything he's ever done has worked.
Broadly, just to interject, broadly in his tenure, I think they've won more SEC championships in the athletic department than any other school or close to it.
I mean, like, at some point, it's like, man, the guy deserves a chance.
But
like,
football hasn't been there.
That's right.
And you can argue also that he made some mistakes with football. As much as we all love Sam and respect Sam and appreciate the job that he did here, there was a period in there where it probably was like, thank you, Sam. You did a great job stabilizing the program, but this is about as far as you can take it. And they didn't do it then, and that's where you are now. But I give him credit for realizing they got it, whether he can pull it off or not. I give them credit for realizing they need $35 million to be able to even have a shot to compete, to get to the middle of this conference, which would get you a shot at the playoff, especially when it expands to 16. But continue. I hear you.
I'm not sitting here trying to defend Hunter or anything. I'm just saying the man has a track record of making some pretty good hires. And I think, like, you just got to trust that he's going to go out and get the guy.
I think all of that's true.
Because I also think, sorry, one other thing. I also think, we've gone back and we talked about at the time when he hired Sam Pittman, there wasn't a lot of interest in this job. Like, there weren't just a plethora of candidates to choose from. It was in such a bad place after the whole Chad Morris fiasco. And it's in a much different place now. And I think he is going to have a chance to go out and hire a good coach. We'll see how it works out. But all I'm saying is there's a track record there.
I don't know if you can hire the good coach, whoever that is, without the 30 to 35 million.
Sure.
I don't think you can do one without the other. I don't think the good coach comes without the money, and I don't think the money comes without the good coach. So that's the catch-22 these guys are in.
Well, Chuck, I think you hit on the most important point of the day not long ago, and the issue. The issue is right along with this, and it comes, it's a factor in raising the money. Right along with this is how everyone feels. And you know what? Sometimes feelings can be more important than reality.
We got different agendas going on right now, too. I mean, let's just...
like we deal with facts and reality and all that stuff on this show, probably me to a fault. But like your explanation of how the fan base and the state feels, there's no more impactful thing going on right now. And that's why it resonated the way that it did. And you've pointed that out. What Basil said yesterday at the Touchdown Club about a bunch of relics, trophies, memorabilia from years gone by, that's just a snapshot and an example of feeling disconnected.
Well, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, Kevin Trainor's not there anymore. That became the talking point. Now it's, well, where are our trophies? How come our trophies aren't here? How come they're not being displayed? Where's the pictures of these players? Now, do those things in and of themselves, do they leave a bad taste in everyone's mouth? I don't know, just by themselves if they do. But collectively, people, it leads to what happened yesterday. And what happened yesterday, I do think, whether we want to dismiss it or not, and I think it's a mistake to dismiss it. I think that that's the culmination of a lot of things, but it makes going out and asking for money a lot tougher. It just does.
We all want to feel valued. Everybody wants to feel valued. And I joke about the NBA thing, like, they can come get me if they want me. I'm not really paying that much attention right now. But really, for Razorback fans, do you feel valued? Do you feel like you matter? Do you feel like they're glad to have you? I mean, you're still going to like the Hogs, but you're going to love the Hogs. Like Madre Hill said it at the Touchdown Club, it wasn't business with Houston Nutt. At least it didn't feel like that. It felt personal.
Oh, it was from the heart.
Personal to him, and you connected with that as a fan.
Cal uses the terms transformational and transactional, points out the difference between the two. I don't think it's unfair for a Razorback fan and, some other part of Arkansas to say, boy, it's felt pretty transactional over the last 20 years or so. It's just felt more transactional. It doesn't feel like it comes from the heart. Look, John from Hamburg said something a minute ago. He used a phrase that I don't agree with, but I've heard 1,000 times. Reeks of arrogance. It just reeks of arrogance. There's nothing more offensive to people than things that reek of arrogance. Now, I think he's taken a lot of liberties there. I know what actually goes on, and you know what actually goes on too. Reeks of arrogance really is not part of the equation the way a lot of people think. But perception is reality, especially when you're asking them for money. I mean, perception's reality. And so you can't dismiss it. You must address it. And I'm not sure the best way to go about doing that. I'm saying what you ought to do. I admit. You got to address it. How do you do that? Oh, I got no idea about that.
Well, we're talking about it. It's 8:18. It's the Chuck and Bo Show on a Tuesday. Good morning.
Everybody wants to fire their coach. Who are you going to hire? There's all these jobs out there right now. Who's everybody going to hire? I don't know. We'll find out.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag, still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Cycling meets vision with McDonald Eye and Zeo Optics for the See Better and Ride Better Vision Expo. Thursday, November 13th at 5:35 p.m. at the new McDonald Eye office in Rogers. Learn how LASIK can sharpen your sight for every ride and try on the latest Zeo sunglasses made for adventure. Enjoy free Zeo giveaways, LASIK discounts, beer from Bentonville Brewing, and the newest bikes from Meteor Bike. Plus, a chance to win a free pair of Zeo shades. Just RSVP now at McDonaldEye.com.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com. Today's been it's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
call the flipping show and have a conversation. Like, call the show, bring up a point, let's discuss it if you want to. But I don't think you have the guts to.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, 8:23. It's Tuesday. We got a game tonight.
We do. There's a basketball game tonight. Thank you for reminding me. 7 o'clock.
SEC Network
The
Plus.
University of Central Arkansas.
Right here on the Razorback Sports Network. Chuck and Z will have the call, and then the Hogs at LSU, 11:45. It opened at 6.5. It's down to 5.5. LSU's the favorite.
And there's another basketball game between
That's
tonight
right.
and Saturday.
Is that Friday?
There's a Friday night game.
At Bud Walton.
At Bud Walton, yeah.
Who are they playing again on Friday?
I forget. I'm not doing the game. I'm going to LSU, so I forget.
Oh.
Is it Samford?
Samford.
Yeah.
Samford.
Lonnie Acuff.
That's right.
Lonnie
There
Acuff's
you
their
go.
coach.
Let's go to Rogers. Kevin, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, guys. How we doing?
All right,
Are
Kevin.
you calling to tell us it's your storage
Yeah,
unit
where's the storage
where
unit
the-
up there with all the trophies?
where the trophies are?
No, don't get me started on that.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, what I did, I'm going to make a comment about that, but it's probably not going to be very popular with people in Central Arkansas. But anyway, I did want to say something. You all have been, this is one of the best shows. Bo, your comment to the gentleman about the athletic directors today was just 100. I mean, I don't always agree with what maybe with your angle, but you were 110% right. I get so tired of people blaming, things like that. All Arkansas fans, I want people to listen to this. Hunter Yurachek has done a very admirable job, I feel, as our athletic director. Now, a lot of the programs that are successful, they have been successful. The coaches have been there. But I want to talk about the basketball program for just a second. He helped bring prominence back to basketball with his hire of Musselman and now Cal. Now, everybody's going to say, well, Tyson did Cal. I want everybody to make sure they understand something. If John Calipari thought that he could not work for Hunter Yurachek, it didn't matter how much Tyson was going to give him. Because I'll tell you why. The last phone call he made was to Kevin Sampson at the University of Houston, where Hunter was, and said, can I work with this guy? So people really need to take a look at that, and as opposed
That's a
to
fact.
the comment. I mean, and it's a fact. I mean, and another thing I want to say, comments from Central Arkansas, I'm really not going to. I heard it yesterday. I just about broke my phone. I personally am not a big fan of those type of tactics, pointing fingers, especially when you're acting like a politician or a salesman, trying to get buddies that played football with you to take an athletic director's job. I mean, and that's kind of everybody has an angle on all these. One thing I like about you two, and Bart's right about Petrino. I agree with him on that. You guys, you never have an angle. You're just speaking, giving us information, debating the information, agreeing to disagreeing. So I really give you all so much credit because, Chuck, I've listened to you on the radio since you came to doing it. And, Bo, I've been watching you since I remember you from back in the Village on the Creeks athletic club days.
Oh, boy.
I mean, that's a long time ago.
Yeah,
so
it is.
I know. I'll quit yapping. Y'all are probably.
Well, no, I appreciate what you said there. We try to do that. I think me in particular, I will admit to missing the mark sometimes and going to the facts or trying to get the facts or trying to give the other side of the story and whatever. And I think there's value in that. But sometimes it does come off as though you're not hearing what people are feeling or saying. And how we all feel, sometimes it's not about whether it's accurate or it's the absolute truth. It's how we feel. And I like something, we keep talking about this. I don't know exactly what it is. I've talked about you need a godfather of Arkansas football. You need somebody
Well, you do.
But like we got to do something about the way we feel. I'm talking about collectively as fans. I mean, seriously, we got to quit. We got to get to the point where we feel valued enough as a state, as a fan base, that we quit griping about every little thing. And that's why when something like Basil said yesterday, and you know how much respect I have for Basil, love the man, love him. I admire his talent, love him as a person. I think he's a great human. But when people say things like he said yesterday, think about this. That's so much easier to rally around than almost anything we have going on, which tells you something.
Right.
Like that tells you, like, we can all rally and people can get excited about that. We got to get it to where we're raising the topic to something that's better and that we can all rally around. And because we're all so broken and we don't feel valued and all these things as a fan base, that doesn't happen enough.
I don't know who said it, but somebody said years ago, the path to the wallet always goes through the heart. The idea that you're going to be able to go out and raise the money that you have to raise to get this football program where you want to get it, the idea that you're going to be able to go out and do that without creating some good old-fashioned emotion is very naive. When people, regardless of whether the facts support their feelings or not, when people feel a certain way and you're asking them for money, you're going to have to deal with their feelings, whether you feel like they have any validity to them or not. And so that, again, that's the catch-22 that they're in right now. And that's why when things like that are said, I know it resonates with people. And unfortunately, some of those people are going to, they've got pretty substantial purse strings.
When we talk about our partners on the Chuck and Bo Show, it may sound like, here's just another advertisement. One of the things that I love about our partners on this show is they do connect with people. And they've connected with us over the time that they've been in business, or we know them personally. And that's why we're happy to have them. Teamwork Roofing and Construction's just one of those people. But this stuff does matter. You want to like who you're doing business with. You want them to make you feel like they're hearing you and that it's not just a transaction. And Teamwork Roofing and Construction has built their entire business on the people they are. They've got all the certified employees and crews for all the jobs and the best materials. But that's what you get, and that's what you want to have. If you need a quote today, this is an ad, but it's also true. TeamworkBuilt.com is their website, teamworkbuilt.com. You'll be happy you did it. Built on quality, powered by teamwork. I got a couple of other thoughts on what you just said about that there, Chuck, in a second. 8:30, we're going to do 2 extra hours today.
Sweet.
I think we got enough to just keep rolling. I mean, this is
streams of consciousness.
We are in the heart of the matter today. Good morning. You really make me want to call you a moron. I'm not going to do that, but I want to.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Hey, it's Bo, and I want to share something that's completely enhanced my day-to-day life. About a year ago, I started telling you about the Sweatnum Edge. Well, over the last several months, here's what's happened for me. My energy level is completely different. My exercise gains have seen a big jump. My mind is clearer, and frankly, life is just more enjoyable. Now, that's my story. What about you? Search the Sweatnum Edge online and get a free evaluation today. It's made a big difference for me, and I know it can for you too. The Sweatnum Edge.
Particularly in the South, I'm not sure there's a title that carries more weight than coach. Maybe preacher.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
when you see the bubble, does that mean they're texting you, or does it just mean they're texting?
No, it means they're texting you.
Because sometimes you'll see the bubble and then they'll think, no, I guess I don't want to say that.
It's like when I text you at night, good night, I'm thinking about you, Chuck, I love you. And I see the bubble come on and then it goes off.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
See, I've been watching for that ever since you said that to me, because I did. I kind of wondered, when you see the bubbles, does that mean they're texting you or just texting generally speaking? And when you informed me that they were texting you, they just decided not to send anything. That happens a lot
The whole
to me.
text thing.
It's like, well, I better not say that.
No, here's one thing.
This is what I want to
But
say.
here's one thing that can happen on that, Chuck, just so you know. Like, if you don't close your phone down, you know what I mean? Click the sleep button or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you text somebody, you put your phone down, and it looks like you're still texting that person, but you're not.
Is that what it
Till
is?
your phone goes to sleep mode.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is what Chuck and I sit around and worry
Yeah.
about. What do they think?
Yeah.
What do they really think?
What do they say?
Oh, my God.
What do they say when we walk out the room?
Can we talk about somebody else's problems for a minute? You want to do that?
Yeah.
Let's talk about LSU.
Okay.
Bart, what's going on in the Chevy of Fayetteville situation room with Brian
Kelly's
Kelly?
suing him.
Tell right now the story that you told me this morning about what is going on at LSU.
Yeah, so basically, Brian Kelly has filed suit against LSU's Board of Supervisors, and he's taken the position that, or he is saying that LSU has taken the position that it has not formally terminated Brian Kelly as the head football coach of the LSU Tigers. The school, according to the petition, is now seeking to fire Kelly for cause and avoid
that's
paying
the part right there.
a full buyout of nearly $54 million. According to a copy of the suit obtained by ESPN, LSU's reps had a call with Brian Kelly's representatives where LSU took the position that Coach Kelly had not been formally terminated and informed his representatives for the very first time that they believed grounds for termination for cause existed. The suit further alleges that LSU told Brian Kelly's representatives Monday that Scott Woodward did not have the authority to terminate him or make settlement offers to him. Thus, he was never officially terminated. So Brian Kelly back on the sidelines this weekend.
Right.
for LSU.
How about that? We didn't fire you because Scott Woodward, he didn't have any authority, even though he was the athletic director at the time. But we're also going to do it now, and we're going to do it for cause.
Hey, it's that for cause thing. I mean, that's the whole deal.
Man.
And I'm no Brian Kelly fan, but he's right and they're wrong on this one.
Oh yeah, but what it again?
And they're going to lose
again. Is LSU that it looks really foolish? You know, does it even matter? But I mean, what a circus! I mean, their circus is at the Northwest Arkansas Mall, erected there in the parking lot for anybody that drives by.
But here's
to
the
see. It's also in Baton Rouge right now.
Well, here's the maddening part about it, though. Here's the maddening part. For a lot of programs, if you have a chaotic month like what LSU's had, it takes you forever to recover. LSU, this is business as usual. I mean, they go nuts all the time.
Whatever.
And there's enough players in that state that you can have a chaotic month and recover.
You know what I love about LSU, the culture of LSU, is that they're not sitting around today talking about what a bunch of morons they are. They think the rest of the world's a bunch of morons.
That's right.
They'll just be
he
like,
didn't have the
they'll be
authority.
like, no, whatever. That's exactly right. He should be fired for cause. He didn't win enough games. You know, they do a great job of just taking on the rest of the world. We got to get better at that here. instead of bickering amongst
They don't
ourselves.
care. They do not care.
Do not care.
I mean,
we're right. Doesn't matter. Just keep on moving.
The whole nation.
Whatever. And they'll be fine, by the way. They're going to end up with a good coach, and they'll be fine.
The whole nation was laughing at their governor when he did what he did. Thought it was a parody. And they don't care.
It's
I mean,
infuriating
it's
to us. Like, all these things matter to us, and we all sit around and talk about it. It's infuriating to watch them just absolutely mangle something, and it doesn't even matter.
And live to tell about it.
And just keep going.
They got 9 lives.
We're gonna party and do it some more. Let's go. We're going to take the biggest swing. Wait, you thought that Brian Kelly was a big swing? Wait till you see what we do next.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, hold my Fat Tuesday drink here.
That's right.
Yeah,
Hold my hurricane.
Yeah, exactly. Both of them. And get them at the drive-thru. Oh, yeah, LSU, man. And here we go. We're going there this week. What kind of team is LSU gonna field on Saturday? Are they going to be, like, inspired? Because they've also, over the years, done that, right, where they're not.
Yeah, they'll
they had a big game
they have a
against
reputation
Alabama.
of quit on you a little bit, and they did have an emotional game. And they played Alabama pretty well. What was it, 20-9, I think was the final. LSU's still going to be good on the lines of scrimmage. They're going to be more imposing than the Razorbacks physically on the lines of scrimmage. It's just a question of, who executes the best. To me, the question for both sides, I said this earlier, what happens when something goes wrong? Because when you're 2-7, as Arkansas is, and when you fired your coach, as LSU has, things have gone wrong. And generally, you've not reacted all that well to them. So it's going to go wrong again Saturday, and who's able to fight through it?
877-377-6963 if you want to hop on the Chuck and Bo Show via text or phone call. Catch us anywhere on YouTube and on demand. You can see it live on YouTube. You can catch it on demand on YouTube, along with right here on the radio and on demand via podcast. If you missed the show, you can always, a lot of people download the podcast of the show and catch whatever they missed that day. On Demand's presented and driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park, where you drive with confidence. Hey, we've been talking about feelings all day. Feelings are real. And for me, the last 9 months, 10 months, it might be a year by now. I mean, I have felt completely different thanks to the Sweat and Edge. And I would encourage you as a guy, even a female, if you don't have the energy or something's just off or you don't feel like you once did, a lot of us think, well, we're getting older, we have to feel that way. It's not true. Go get evaluated and let them create a game plan that can help you feel better. I mean, I've seen tremendous gains in almost every area of my life and sleep better. You can have it too. The Sweatnum Edge, just look it up. The Sweatnum Edge, or go to SweatnumCosmetic.com and they'll have a tab right there you can click on. Sign up for a free evaluation today.
I know this is an audio medium and I shouldn't just shake my head, but words fail me.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728. Or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroff, you get the best of both worlds: professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
High school sports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley have never had a bigger stage. I'm Melissa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, and every week we'll be bringing you the stories, highlights, and moments that matter most to our communities. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to our newsletter, check out the Varsity Vibe podcast, and follow us on social media for the latest scores and spotlight features. Get it all at varsityvibearkansas.com.
So I spent yesterday. You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Can we just admit that a lot of these national college football media guys just have no earthly idea what they're talking about? All this stuff that you hear, it doesn't mean anything. It means absolutely nothing. Less now than ever before, I think. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to this show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
There's two ways of looking at this. You have the geese. What happens when they go in a triangle there? The lead goose gets tired. What happens? He falls back and someone else takes the lead. And then he gets tired and what happens? He falls back and someone takes the lead. Or you could be like the buffalo. And then the buffalo runs to the edge of the cliff and jump over. What happens to the rest of the buffalo? They're jumping over the cliff too. Why am I jumping? Because he jumped. Okay, let's all jump. So I'd rather be like geese flying and have a bunch of guys that could lead, and that's how it kind of develops for me over the years.
Edward added that. Selective editing.
That's so good. Is that how it actually works? Do the buffalo run off the cliff?
I don't know, but
I have never heard that before.
Cal tells stories with
he's got his animals mixed up.
Yes, I believe him.
I'll just you think about the redwood story last year. The redwood story last year. Remember that? The deep roots and all that stuff. Yeah. And now you got the geese and the buffalo. And
I don't think buffalo run off of cliffs.
I don't know, but he made it sound
I know
believable.
there's like a bird in South America that does that. The kiwi bird.
I don't know that there are redwoods in Southern California either with Santa Ana winds, but it was a good story, and the way he told it was, it was believable. And if you're in a locker room,
let's go.
And he says stuff like this. Well, by God, let's go
be the
play.
geese.
Yeah,
Let's be the geese.
That's right.
Bart, we don't need you to fact check this. It's okay.
I'm not.
Are there redwoods in Southern? Do the Santa Ana winds affect the redwoods? I don't know.
Gosh, we just laugh at ourselves. Here's some more or something.
My freshmen played like freshmen. We still had the chance to win the game. But again, teaching them to win takes time, and young people have to go through experiences. I call them hero shots. You never take a hero shot when it's a minute and a half, 2 minutes to go. You have a chance. You know what a hero shot is? They got 1 in 10 making it. So it's a step back. It's something high and over and cross 3 times and go to the. You get no chance of making it. You take a shot you can make or get fouled. That's winning basketball. I'm juggling balls because they're confident and fearless, and I don't want to lose that.
Yeah, I get that. And I don't think there's anybody better at it.
Yeah, it's interesting to talk to the players. We talked to DJ last night after Cal was done, and he talked about how practice is a little bit different maybe than the way he talks about it here on the show. Maybe there's a little more into it, but no,
church it up when you talk about it on
he is
Live.
But this. Let's go back to some of the stuff we've been talking about today. Some people can walk in a room. They don't need any notes. They just walk in, and there's 15 people in there. They've read half of them before they even get to the podium. He's one of those people. He's one of those gifted people. He speaks in a way that makes everybody in the room feel like they're talking to them individually. I'm the only one here, and he's talking to me. That's talking to an audience as opposed to talking at an audience. And it's the same way in a locker room for a coach. Cal's got the gift. He's got the gift when it comes to that. And he's as good at it as I've heard.
You feel like with the personality and the gift that he has, he can be successful at a lot of things.
Absolutely.
He chose basketball because he loves basketball. But when we talk about the next football coach, think back to the coaches in football that connected with fans before they ever coached a game. And I think if Houston Nutt, Broyles was one of those guys, obviously, but we just go more recent. Houston Nutt. Hey, Bielema did it for a while. Like, Bielema had a connection here for a while. Winning has to be a part of it, or it all falls apart. It fell apart for Houston Nutt at the end. Pittman had it for a while.
Had it in Tampa.
At Arkansas. But you got to be able to connect. In this state, look, Petrino connected because he won.
Right.
And they knew he was a winner, like in terms of his previous stop in college, and they loved the exciting offense, and we wanted to see the ball in the air. At this point in Arkansas, you got to have somebody who can connect with the fans. And I think that's true of a lot of areas right now when we talk about Razorback athletics. That's important.
I don't think one rule, fits every era. I don't think you can speak generally. I think there have been times when maybe some outside thoughts were really good. But I do think right now we're at a point where what you just said is important. I think being able to talk to the fans, if you remember Houston Nutt, he won the state over before they ever played a game. And I think you need somebody like that again.
Hey, single game tickets available for tonight's game against UCA and others at Bud Walton Arena. Just log on to ArkansasRazorbacks.com and you can get a ticket.
Basketball night tonight, 7 o'clock.
SEC Network Plus and right here on the radio. For all of us here at the Chuck and Bo Show, we're going to try again tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors The Griffin